Hi all, welcome again to Elliott Wave News Channel by Wave Strategy Advisors. And this is Ashish Kyal here, and we will be discussing about the current state of the market, along with the main topic for today's discussion is going to be how we can probably use GAN analysis to some extent for understanding the reversal areas or probably timing the market to some extent. And this GAN analysis that we will be using for timing the market is not going to be in isolation. It has to be combined along with other techniques like we always do, along with channels, along with neo wave and other concepts, in order to understand if it is providing any kind of an important vital information at the current juncture. So what has happened is Nifty has rallied from the lows, like we know, and moved towards the level on the upside after in the form of a diametric pattern. And after completing the diametric pattern, the overall trend which came on the downside was only for a day. So Nifty broke the level of 8370. However, it managed to protect the level of 8320 to 8280. Now 8320 and 8280 was the gap area, and this level was protected by the markets, and post that there was again a very sharp rise, and we have seen that it after breaking above 8460, which was the previous pivot high, there has been a near vertical rise over past 2 days, and Nifty is now probably on the way to touch the levels of 8700. So there has been a very sharp and fast rise within a very short span of time, and this has happened after giving a false break below 8370. Now 8370 was an important level because for 4 5 days Nifty managed to protect that support. After that was taken out, there was a very sharp fall towards 8330, but nevertheless 8280 to 8320, which was the gap area, remained protected. And after that, as soon as the reversal happened back above 8370 and back above 8460, which was the previous pivot high, there was an indication that the break was false break, which was probably for a bad trap. And that's why, because of the bad trap, there has been a fresh buying along with short covering that resulted into a very sharp up move. And again today, markets have been at a very important juncture. The reason I say this is based on the chart of neo wave plot. Let me share across very quickly the neo wave plot, which I have shown it in the today's morning research report. So that plot helps us to understand the precise areas and very clear wave counts. So as per the, let me share across my screen. And over here, if you can see the report, this is the rise. So this rise has been in a very clear bifurcated A, B, C, D, E, F, G, which was the diametric pattern. And then we have seen a fall in the form of a three-wave X wave. This X wave halted above 8320 level, which was important. And then the reversal happened. And this was probably the bear trap where the important low was broken, but only temporarily for a day. And then the reversal happened, very steep and near vertical rise, which we have not seen in this entire up move. Today's high has been around in this level, and this is the zone which is very important, I say, because in order to break the upward sloping channel on the upside, we require extreme strong momentum. And this is probably doesn't happen very often, and it happens maybe once in 3 years or so. So what is the expectation is now, since prices are at this level, especially on the Nifty, the risk reward is not favorable for the long positions. So we have to wait, and this is probably wave A after wave X. Now it's not clear whether this wave A is of triangle or is of a zigzag pattern. So the nature and the retracement of wave B, which we are going to see over next few days, is going to be providing very vital information. Whether this wave B, if retraces more than 61.8% on the budget day of this rise from wave X, then yes, it is forming a triangle pattern. So few days of consolidation before we top out. If it retraces less than 61.8%, then yes, we are forming a zigzag pattern, and then the wave C, which is going to come on the upside, is going to break even today's high. So the retracement of wave B is going to be very important and provide vital information. Now, if we club this understanding about prices along with something that I also done some research on the GAN analysis, then it provides some very important vital information. So let me, before proceeding on to the chart of times or days as per GAN, let me show you the square of 9 that I have plotted. Now GAN square of 9, I will not be able to explain very much in detail right now. But let me share across my chart or Excel of square of 9, where I have shown, I'll very briefly explain how this entire Excel has been plotted. So as per again square of 9, we have to consider as 1 over at the center, 2 is over here on the left side, then we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we move one step outward again, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and we keep doing this, and we take one step outward and we keep plotting the chart. So I'll not say this is a chart, but nevertheless this is a GANN chart, I would say. So one step outwards and we keep plotting it, we keep getting a square, and this is known as the square of 9 because the first rotation itself ends on 9. So that's why known as a square of 9. Now in the square of 9, you have to understand, now if you understand geometry and probably graphs to some extent, you might understand that this scale on the right hand side, which is yellow, is 0 degree. This on the upside is 45 degree. On the left side is 90 degree, and on the down is 135 degree. Similarly, we have 45 degree. So based on this thing, if you look at, we have different degrees at different points. Okay, so I'll again repeat. So we have a 0 degree, 45 degree, 90 degree here. Then we have 180 degree here, and similarly, if you look at it, 135 degree here. This is the blue line, and then we have on the downside. So we keep doing this, we get different angles. So the key is to understand which specific angle has been working on the market. So if I look at the chart now, and try to look at the important tops and the bottoms in terms of not the price value, in terms of the time. So in terms of time, if I look at this 90 degree chart, so I have that 4, 15, 34, 61, 96, 139, 190. These are all the important days from probably the important lows or the tops. So if you keep remember this, 4, 15, 34, 61, 96, 139 are the important days. And let me now share across my GANN chart with the days that are marked. And if you look at this chart on the screen here, and if you look at this chart, you will try to understand the angles from where the markings have been done. So if I look at this chart, okay, if I look at this chart over here, you can see that I have wave 4, sorry, not wave 4, I'm used to neo, so not wave 4, day 4. So we have day 4, which formed the minor top 15. So if you remember the days I mentioned is 4, 15, no, it's not 45, it's 90. Okay, so we have 4, 15, 34, 61, 96, 139, 190. Now this is brilliant. Exactly after this low was formed, on the 190th day, there was an important top. That's one information. Also, these are calendar days. These are not trading days. Next information is on the 15th day, there was a low. 34th, there was a top. 61, just 2 days prior, there was a low. Again, 96 top. So 139, a very important low again. So there has been an important lows and tops which are being formed on the GANN calendar dates. Now this is derived based on the fact that the 90-degree angle has been working well. Similarly, on the downside swing, we have 4 which formed the low here, 15th formed the top, 34th formed the low, 61 formed the top, just a day or two, and 96 formed between an average. So there is always an average of, when we have an edge pattern, nothing works. It's just an edge pattern where the average works. So you know the average of this. So we have a top so we have a low exactly here, but it's an average of this pattern. Now again, if we start, we completed something here at this low. Probably that was wave G of the diametric. Then we have 415. And now the 34-day comes on Sunday. Now Sunday is not possible since we don't work. So Monday. So this shows that an short-term top. This is not going to be providing significance whether there is going to be an important medium-term top or a short-term top. The information it provides is there has to be some topping or some sideways action we need to see. Always remember, cycle will tell us whether the price are going to top out for few weeks or it does not provide information whether the cycle is going to top out for few weeks or few days. Also, it can result into sideways actions. Like this time, the 54 and 108 day cycle should ideally have resulted into a sharp fall, but they resulted into a sideways action rather than a sharp fall. So 54-day, 108-day cycle resulted into sideways action, and then the cycle low was formed just a day back, and then we are seeing a rally again on the upside. So similarly, this time as well, as per GANN, there is a 34-day top which should be formed, and this is going to result into, if you look at prior 34-day, it resulted into at least 4 or 5 days of down move. Over here, the 34-day resulted into 4 or 5 days of up move, which is the upside correction. Over here, it was downside correction. If the same funda holds true, then we should see at least 3 to 4 days or 4 to 5 days of some correction on the downside. Now, this is again coinciding with one important aspect of budget, which is on first. So there is going to be some huge volatility we are going to see, because there are three things now. One is, as per Neo wave, prices are in wave A post the X wave, and they are exactly at the channel resistance. Secondly, there is a 34-day top cycle. Now this is going to be only for few days cycle. Always remember, please remember, this is not a very important topping cycle as such, which we normally see, but this is a short-term top cycle. So for 3-4 days we are going to see some consolidation, either sideways or downside, and that is going to be in the form of wave B, as per Neo wave. So it synchronizes perfectly well with our wave analysis with the channels. And then after that wave B is over, we are going to see again wave C. Now that wave C is going to depend a lot on how much wave B is going to retrace the ongoing wave A. So that's going to be very important. But this GAN analysis helps us to understand timing to some extent, that right now if prices are near the channel, it is also at the 34-day topping cycle, then we are going to see some kind of a wave B in the formation, which should take more time than wave A. And that is why wave B can take at least 3-4 days, which is in sync exactly with the outcome that we are expecting. So this is how GAN calendar day time cycle using square of 9 can be used. And if you look at this chart, it has worked amazingly well, both on the upside, also on the downside. And we are seeing very closely how price behave now, probably on Monday, and whether it is able to still take out 8730 or 8700 on the upside, or start showing some consolidation like we have seen in today's session. So it's going to be an important week coming forward, and it's going to be very crucial to see the move of wave B. Now wave B is going to decide how prices are going to behave in wave C, whether it's forming a triangle or a zigzag pattern. So that's going to be very, very vital information, and we are going to highlight this in our daily research report, which is published daily in the morning before the market opens. So very important very peculiar way in which the markets are behaving. Few stocks are rallying by 6-7%, rest stocks are moving in sideways action. And again, there are new set of stocks that were underperforming before have start show some strength suddenly. Similar, for example, ICICI Bank, which was an underperformer, started moving by 6-7%. They'll move by 6-7%. On the other hand, something that was outperforming like metal started showing some consolidation. So it has been a rotational move on the upside. It has been tricky move on the upside, I would say. This is probably because of the pre-budget rally, which happens normally before the event. We start seeing some tricky movements happening, which is happening right now. But I think it's going to subside very soon. We are going to start seeing some predictable moves very soon again. And the next few days is going to be important, and keep a close watch whether the GAN cycle is working well or not. We are going to know in next few days itself. So that should be it from my end. For any queries, please feel free to write to us at helpdesk@wavestrategy.com. This video will be available also on the website wavestrategy.com at 5, and you can again watch and review it. And we are also conducting a training in March, on which I will be emphasizing also on the GAN time analysis, and we will be discussing about how the square of 9, what is the square of 9, and how this square of 9 can be used from timing the market. I am not an expert in GAN, but something like this which is working so well, I do not want my participants to miss out on that. So I'll be discussing that as well in the upcoming training on Neo wave and time cycles, which is on 18th 19th March. For registrations, please feel free to call on 999204 22202, or drop your email ID at helpdesk@wavestrategy.com, and my team will get in touch with you. Great, thank you very much, and hope to see you again next week, same time at 4, and have a pleasant weekend. Thank you.